I am Ami Glazer. I will be your instructor for this course. I'm very excited to teach this course. It's my first time teaching environmental ethics, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. So I'm just going to dive in and talk about how the course works, what's expected, how to use the Moodle page, and all that fun stuff. So here's the syllabus to begin with. It will look a bit different by the time you get it. But the way the course works is that each week you will be assigned something. Usually it will be a reading. Sometimes there might be a movie or video, some other kind of video. But you'll be assigned some required material for the week, and you can see what is assigned for each week on this schedule. And most weeks there will also be a video lecture to accompany that material, in which I will be talking about the material, so you are required to watch the video lecture each week as well. And then most weeks you'll also take a quiz to demonstrate that you've read the material and show me that you're keeping up with the class. So the quizzes will be all on Moodle, multiple choice quizzes, 10 questions each, and they will be available from Thursday during the week that they're assigned until Sunday at 5 p.m. So, for example, on the second week of class, you'll take your first quiz. And that's the week that begins on August 26th, and that Thursday is August 29th. So the quiz will be available from August 29th at 8 in the morning until 5 p.m. on Sunday, September 1st, for that week. You'll also be writing 3 different pieces of writing in this class. You'll be writing 2 short 2-page essays and 1 longer essay. And there is a grading rubric, if you scroll down here, in the syllabus that explains exactly how those essays and paper will be graded. For each writing assignment, you'll be given a writing prompt, and you'll be responding to that prompt in the assignment. Those will all be due through Moodle, and the due dates are listed here in the schedule and below. And when there's more, where near the writing rubric. The grading rubric. In addition to the quizzes and the writing assignments, there will be a final exam in the class. The exam looks just like the quizzes, except it's longer. And the exam will be available during the exam week, beginning on Thursday, December 5th at 8 a.m. until Sunday, December 8th at 5 p.m. And there will also be a number of short assignments that you do that constitute your participation grade. So the first one of those is to post a video introduction of yourself. Tell us who you are, anything you want to share about yourself, maybe why you're taking the class, and what you're expecting to get from the class. And you will post that video online to share with the rest of the class, so we can see, you can look around that page and see other videos posted by your classmates and find out who's taking the class. And you will also be assigned a small group as part of your participation grade, and you'll be meeting twice throughout the semester with that group before upcoming writing assignments are due, and you'll have very specific instructions on what to do during those group meetings. But you can schedule those with your group mates at your convenience, and they can be on Zoom if you prefer, or in person if you're up for that. So I want to show you the Moodle page here briefly. So here's the Moodle page, which will also look a bit different. One more participation assignment is that during fall break you'll be going for a walk. So that's also described in the syllabus. So on the Moodle page, the first section I have here is just a link to make sure you have access to resources to keep yourself safe and healthy and well throughout the semester. It's been a doozy of a few years here on campus. I know that we're undergoing a mental health crisis on campus, and a lot of students are not well. There's excess stress just dealing with the world and the environment. Speaking of environmental ethics, which we will talk about, all these links between us and the larger world. But I want to make sure you're staying safe and that you have the resources that you need to succeed at school. And so I've provided those links here, and that's also part of the reason I've asked you to work with a small group, is that Small groups are really the only way that I have to keep up with every single person in the class. And so for each of the group meetings, those 2 group meetings, every single person in your group has to be present for those meetings. So in order for the group to receive credit. So if there's any problems with that, or anybody in your group is not responding or who has disappeared, which has happened more in the last 4 years in my experience from teaching at State than ever before, make sure you let me know, reach out as soon as possible. You can even schedule your group meeting times at the very beginning of the semester so that you know when you'll be expected to meet with your group. And then the group can also be a source of support for you if there are things you missed about the week's readings or assignment that you need more clarification on, or you want to get somebody else's input, what they're writing about, or what they think of something you read. Please reach out to your group if you need more peer support in the class, if peer support would be helpful to you. You can also read each other's papers before you submit them. Your group can be a source of support for you and a first place to turn if you have questions about how to post your video introduction or anything else that I'm asking of you during the course. I really include group work because I want you to be connected to other people in the class, to be able to be accountable to one another, to take care of one another, and to help me be aware if anyone is struggling or having trouble or just disappears from the class. So that's a bit about related to your health and safety, and why I think that's so important, and that I encourage you to just reach out for support if you need it, to me as well as to your group mates. So the whole class is laid out by week here on the Moodle page. If you collapse all these, it's a lot less overwhelming. But each week, all the materials you need are available under that week's tab. So, for example, week 2, which starts August 26th, there's a short description during each week, which you're required to read, and I highly recommend that you read because it has important sort of overview information about the readings that we'll be looking at, what's important to take from those readings. You'll also find the week's video lecture here posted for the week, and any readings you need are also linked under the week that they're assigned, and then the quiz for that week is also here. If you click on the quiz, you can see, probably will look different for you, that, well, my internet might not be working, but when you click on the quiz, you can see the due dates, and that should be on some sort of Moodle calendar, I think, that you have access to also. I don't know where that is, but you probably do. And that's how the Moodle page works. So everything is there. The final exam will be posted down at the bottom here, and if there's a paper due during the week, the assignment tab for submitting that writing assignment will be under that week's tab. And I think that's all I have to share with you. Let's see. The syllabus contains a lot more important information that I haven't gone into in this short lecture. So please read it thoroughly. The first quiz will cover everything we've talked about at the point when you take the quiz, participation. So that includes the syllabus. So the syllabus will be covered during the first week's quiz. So make sure you've read the syllabus thoroughly, that you reach out to me or to your group mates if you have any questions. We also have a grader for this class. Her name is Laura Murray, and I'm very grateful to Laura for grading for the class. You can also reach out to Laura if you have questions. There are our email addresses are both here at the top of the syllabus, and if I will be emailing you as I think of things that you need to know, or to remind you about upcoming events or assignment due dates. But we have a great list of stuff here that I'm very excited to dive into with you. We are in a dire situation. The environment is in crisis right now. It's impacting all of us. I mean, that's part of why we have a mental health crisis on campus. We all just lived through Hurricane Debbie, which dumped a whole bunch of rain on us, destroyed houses further east. Maybe you were affected by that personally. I want you to think about how the environment relates to you as an individual. And though we're in a crisis, we're in a dire situation, we are actually undermining the ecological systems that support life on Earth, that allow human life to thrive and to live on this planet. Even though the situation looks grim, that's not the general attitude of the class. The general atmosphere of the class and the readings that we're going to be looking at, there's a mix of the bad news, but more importantly, what I want you to focus on, and what I've really focused on in the class, is what people are doing about it, how we can rethink our role in nature and what our obligations are, and how we can sort of shift and, like Adrienne Marie Brown says in Emergent Strategy, which is assigned later in the semester, how we can shape the changes that are coming our way. So we don't have to be just passive to accepting these changes that are going to result, no matter what, in immense human suffering and suffering of other species and a lot of death and destruction, but how we can shape those changes, because at some point, as we're going through all these radical shifts, there's going to be a new world emerging, and what that world is going to look like is we still have the power to help shift that and change that and create the world that we intend to create. And so this is really a class about human agency and responsibility. You can see I have these headers here in the syllabus, but I've used this notion of responsibility. It's Anthony Weston's term. We'll be reading something from him as well. But the idea that we are able to craft a meaningful response to our situation, and there's still room for human agency and deliberate action. So it's a mix of good and bad news, and I hope that you enjoy the course, and I hope that I will hear from you soon. I also have office hours on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11, I believe. Check the syllabus to make sure that's correct. But I'd love to meet you individually. I have close to 200 students, so it's hard for me to get to know people. So the best way for me to get to know you is if you reach out and talk to me, ask me questions. We can meet. I can meet you in person or on Zoom or even over the phone. We can go for a walk. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you enjoy getting to know your classmates, and I look forward to watching your video introductions. Thank you so much.